But for now, we're going to go over and talk to our in-house chef, Chef Hamza, who's cooking up something a bit chilly and a bit spicy and exciting for us tonight. Assalamu alaikum, Chef Hamza.
Wa alaikum salam, sister. Thank you very much, guys. Look, today I've got a nice dish for you. It's a little bit different to what I'm doing, but there is a reason behind it. I'm going across the Atlantic to Mexico. So I've got my sombrero on and I'm thinking about what to do. And I'm going to do something nice and simple, and I'm going to do something staple for you guys. Now, we're going to start with the classic guacamole. Now, I'm going to show you how it's supposed to be made. I've got here one ripe avocado, which we just de-seed, that I'm going to take out from there. It's a very, very simple dish that you can make at home. People love making guacamole. Unfortunately, some people buy it, which is irrelevant, really. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you can make very simply at home. Kids love it. They can get involved in it. My son absolutely adores avocado, so I'm quite lucky with that one. And this is the way it should be made. So people make it wrong and people add things that aren't supposed to be in there. Because it's such an easy dish, people seem to kind of go over the top and say, you know what, let's add something else. You don't need to. What I've got in here, a nice ripe avocado. It's got to be ripe, like I've said before. You want to take one tomato, and with this tomato, you just want to take out the seeds. Now, I take them out very quickly because you don't want the seeds in there. Otherwise, what happens is you get too much liquid inside. So I'm just going to place that on the plate to get rid of those. And it's a fine, fine dice. For one avocado, I'd probably use just half a tomato, maybe even a quarter. Less. And you want it just diced. You can have it a bit chunky. Doesn't matter if it's chunky. And it's nicely diced up. Very simple. Now, if you go to a decent Mexican restaurant, if you do, what they do for you, they normally make this in front of you at your table. It's fantastic to see when they do that. You know exactly everything that's going in. I'm going to take a little bit of coriander. We're taking a nice sprig of coriander. Little bunch, not too much. You don't want to overpower with the coriander. You want to have all the flavors kind of mixed together. Now, the beautiful thing about Mexico is it has such an infusion and wonderful delight of flavors and spices that are in there. And they've come from Europe, the Far East, and everywhere else. And the flavors that are indigenous to the area. Tomatoes, for example. Now, I'm going to take a lime. This lime here, I'm going to get the good juice of a lime. And you want to just squeeze it up a bit just beforehand. And a good helping of lime juice, probably about half a lime in there. And that's going to complement the dish perfectly in there. Good pinch of salt and pepper on top. Now I'm using a little bit of onion, just a little bit. I don't want too much onion, otherwise the onion is going to be overpowering throughout the guacamole. Now with this dish here, what I've got nachos already done. So we're not going to do any nachos. They're already done for you. I've got a bit of homemade tomato salsa as well and a bit of sour cream. And this is the pièce de resistance. I mean, you can't have Mexican food without guacamole. Jalapenos. A little bit spicy, not too hot, just enough heat. So up to you entirely on how much you want to put in. I put in a nice sliver in here. I don't mind a bit of temperature. I don't like hot food, but I don't mind a bit of temperature in there. Now, inside there, fork. And it's just mashed together. That is a simple, simple guacamole dish. Now, when it's all mashed together, you see it here. You can have as much or as little guacamole, as much or as little kind of chopped vegetables and fruit in there. We call the mixture of the coriander and onions and tomatoes, that's called the pico de gallo. That's what that's called. And that just goes in there all together. Now, the reason why I'm doing Mexican food, I'm going to say this now. Hopefully, we're hoping to bring the halal Mexican restaurant to East London. So this, guys, is a place that you've got to come to, hopefully. So that should be, fingers crossed, inshallah, God willing, should be done ready next week. It's a little surprise for you guys. This here is my guacamole. Now, I have my nachos here on the side. I've got my sour cream. I've got my homemade salsa here. Homemade guacamole. I want to move on to the next dish. Next dish is tacos. Everybody knows tacos. Everybody loves tacos. I'm going to do tacos with prawn. I like prawn tacos. You can get it some places. I like them because it's a big difference from the meat. And I'm trying to cut down on my meat, believe it or not. Even though I've got a steak restaurant, I'm trying to cut down on the meat that I've been eating. I think we eat far too much meat. So I'm going with the seafood this time. Now, clean prawns, that's what you want. You don't want them cooked. Don't do cooked prawns. You want to have the raw prawns are in there. And in here, I've made my little mix. Inside here, some oil. I've got a bit of, in a pestle and mortar, so I put some oil, some paprika, some cumin, some garlic, lime juice, some fresh lime in there as well. And that's pretty much it. And that's your base that you want there. That's going to flavor up the prawns wonderfully, and it's going to give that flavor that you need. And you just want to cook these down. Don't overcook them. If you start to overcook them, they become chewy and hard and they've got no flavor in it. Now I'm going to season that like I season everything, with salt and pepper. Must season everything with salt and pepper. Don't be afraid of salt and pepper. A lot of people under-season food, and they overpower it with the spices, but then they under-season it. Now you guys can't smell this at home, but this is filling up the studio here. This is a wonderful, wonderful spicy smell. I've got in there as well my chipotle chilies, if I didn't mention those. That's just the chilies, again, indigenous from the region, and it just gives it that bit of a kick. That's on there. Now, if you're starting to have it stick, I can just add just a touch of oil. So, just a touch of oil for there we go. Now, this is going to come together perfectly. Now, with tacos, you have to have the other bits and pieces that's there. You've got to have a bit of cheese, you've got to have a bit of lettuce, you've got to have the guacamole, you've got to have the sour cream, you've got to have salsa, you've got to go all inside those little tacos and be wonderful and messy. That's what we love, that messy food. You've got to have it running down your arms. That's what we love, guys. So, for me, the prawns are just getting there. Let's give them a quick toss. Now I'm going to move the prawns over to one side here in this bowl whilst I prep up everything else. Now I like to do my tacos slightly different. Some people will heat them up in a microwave. I like to heat them straight in the pan. I'm going to pick up all the other juices that's in there. So I'm just going to throw these tacos in there quickly, and you just want to warm them through. You can buy these tacos anywhere. Every supermarket has tacos nowadays. I'm doing 3. Just so it looks better on the plate. You can have soft shell, hard shell. You can have the large burrito styles. I like the little ones, much easier that way, and you can get the kids involved and you can build them up as you go. Now, once they start warming up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put just a bit of cheese on now. I like the cheese melted, so I don't want to have cold cheese with my prawns. So, on here, look at that. That cheese, once that cheese starts to melt, I'm going to turn off the heat. I don't want to cook the tacos. I just want to warm them through, get the warmth into there. Take a few prawns. What I'm going to do, look at that. This is absolutely wonderful. Again, like I said before, this is the perfect dish that you can have at home with the kids. It doesn't take long. You come home from work, you've got to rustle something up. It really doesn't take long at all. Clear down a wee bit. And we'll start. Take one of the tacos from here. I like a bit of salad on mine, so be generous with the salad. Take that one there. Now, if you wanted the hard shell ones, you take the same ones, you take the corn tacos, and then you just fry them, or you can buy them ready-made. It's entirely up to you. I've got to scoop this one out. Now the tacos are nice and crispy, and they've picked up, look at that, they've picked up all the flavors that are on the side there. And I'm dropping prawns and everything. But that's what it's about. It's about being messy, creative. You can steal some of the things from the other side here. I'm going to take just a little bit of this salsa from here. This is the homemade salsa. Okay. From here, take a little bit of this sour cream, big dollop of sour cream on there. If you don't like sour cream, don't put it. You can put whatever you want in there. I'm just trying to show you, you guys at home, what you can and can't do, or what you can do when you get home and you want to do something nice and quick and simple. And of course, Mexican food without guacamole, it's just not Mexican food. And you want a nice, good helping of that there. It's always key, when you're in the shop, make sure you get the ripe avocados. I love avocado. I can eat avocado just as it is, nice and plain and simple. And that's there. So, got your prawn tacos, nachos with fresh homemade guacamole. I mean, that is a wonderful, wonderful dish. It's a great dish for groups, great dish for the kids, great dish for the parties. Enjoy, guys.